Matthew worked 2 weeks in Haiti before I got there. I'm just going to give you just a little picture of my week there. I got there on Thursday night, and then Friday was Flag Day. We're going to have Flag Day in the United States in June. Well, they had theirs for Haiti's flag on the Friday after I got there. No school on Flag Day. So, on your day off, they gathered, I don't know, 150, 300, I can't even count. The teenagers all put on their best clothes and went to church for like 4 hours and then stayed and ate 2 hours after that. I've never seen anything like it in my life. There was no teenager on the back row slumped down texting or wishing they weren't there. Every one of them were singing so loudly you couldn't even hear yourself sing. I just tried to look at their lips and say la 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 something like what they were saying. But I couldn't even hear that I was not saying anything that made any sense because the next person was so loud. With all their heart, they were worshiping God, and it went on and on and on. Sometimes you think we sing a song 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. They may sing it 15 or 25 times over and over. And the band, Matthew says there were 60 people in it. I can't count.
Leon said there was 60.
There were a lot. Anyway, Friday, that was Friday. Then, after that, we went home and played with the kids a little bit. And then the sun went down. There's no electricity in the afternoons every day. So about the sundown, the cook, Mommy, Jolena, she's out in the middle with one chair and a cloth to swat the mosquitoes, and she starts worshiping God. I was like someplace else, like talking to Brother Lucien or something, going like, what is going on? All the teenagers are singing with this beautiful harmony. She just starts singing, and the little children, they got their arms in the air, and they're just worshiping God and singing. They couldn't see my mouth hanging open because it was dark, and that went on for about an hour, and I think they said the Lord's Prayer at the end, and then I think they said the Apostles' Creed, maybe. It sounded that rhythm. I said the Lord's Prayer in English because it kind of went with their whatever they were saying. And then they all went to bed, to their bedrooms in the dark because there's no electricity. Maybe a little flashlight. That's Friday. Saturday we get up and do the same thing again, except now it's for a wedding. Oh, my. Everybody shows up again, and it just goes on and on. And
like 5 hours long.
Yes, it was a long, long wedding. The wedding was at least 3.
Mom, Lucien goes long.
Yes. Well, it started an hour late, so that makes 4. So then we went home, and we handed out all of our clothes, and this whole time I'm taking pictures. And then we handed out our clothes and all of our cookies we sent, all the things you guys gave us. We handed them all out after the wedding. And then on Sunday we got up and went to church again. And I took mediocre clothes because I didn't want to outdress them or something. And I just threw a pair of high heels in because I thought probably they're just going to wear flip-flops at church. Boy, was I wrong. They were dressed twice as good as I was dressed. And the boys' shirts were white and ties and nice shoes, and there was a guy outside church, shining shoes. You went into church with your shoes clean. And the girls had high heels on, not a fat one among them, and they were tall and so beautiful and full of joy. That was great. Went home, taught them a game. Lucia went off to church till midnight, and we played games with the kids, take more pictures. Monday morning, get up, go to school with them. That was really something. Of course, they're all going in a bus piled 2 or 3 high in this big old army, I don't know what, truck, U-Haul, anyway. Take pictures. Afterwards, Lucien's going to give us 3-hour little tour of Port-au-Prince. So we go into the city. I'm in the back seat, the windows down, and I have my hands inside the truck, but I'm taking pictures of the center divides. They're just so beautiful. And I think I took a picture of the only stoplight that I saw. Traffic going like this and nobody having a wreck. People walking between, selling battery chargers and toilet brushes and mangoes and pineapples. And as I was taking a picture, a boy came along, running. They're all going between the cars, grabbed my camera and ran away. All my pictures. Okay, this happens to all of us. We have problems. And then we have a choice. What are you going to do? You're going to be depressed, mad. What are you going to do? All my pictures. I feel like I want to bring... I had pictures of all the children in all the clothes you gave them. And Rich, Felix in church is about 4 inches taller than you, and he loved your sandals. Big man. He loved your sandals. Thank you. And your slippers. Anyway, not everybody has little feet like this. Felix had big feet. Anyway, I had been singing in church the day before this song we're going to teach you. And I thought, okay, now I have a chance to practice this. Always have joy. In spite of problems, always have joy. And, you know, they had an earthquake. Now, I had been reading that day in Malachi. And it's interesting, Malachi is not mentioned anywhere else in the Bible. We hear about Moses over and over and over. You hear about Jesus over and over. You hear about Joseph and all these big guys. But Malachi is never mentioned again. He has a few pages in the Bible, but he is remembered by the words that he said. And I just thought, God, you know, if I had any pride in taking those pictures, or if you had any pride in giving anything to them, all of that's gone. There's no proof of it. All we have is, you know, what you had in your heart. You gave. Your right hand doesn't know what your left hand did. And that's really, he says, he's known by these words, Malachi 3:10. Bring ye all the tithe into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you shall not have room enough to receive. Though they seemed like they had nothing, Lucien preached that when he took up the offering. And he said, you know, if you don't want to give 10%, then give 20%. You know, 10% is just like a minimum. And he just held him to the Word of God. They live by the Word of God, and there's no mushing around, you know. I thought, okay, my camera's gone, and any bit of pride that I might have had, I just wanted to come home and show all the beautiful things we gave. Well, the proof is gone. The guy, and in the meantime, we just prayed for the boy. Lucien just said they're just desperate. They have nothing. Maybe they have a camera. They can get a couple dollars for it. And it'll be good until the battery runs out and they don't have the charger, because I have a charger. But whatever, you know. So when people, you just have to pray. You just have to pray for people that despitefully use you. I don't think he was trying to spite me. He just was so poor. He just needed. And so we just prayed that a laborer would come by and tell him about Jesus. And so, yeah, all righty. You're going to listen to Matthew sing this first. 'Tis you.
La joie, je gagne la joie, malgré tout problème, yo, je gagne la joie.
Let's sing. 'Tis you gagne la joie. 'Tis you gagne la joie, malgré tout problème, yo. 'Tis you gagne. Let's stand up. 'Tis you gagne la joie. 'Tis you gagne la joie, malgré tout problème, yo. 'Tis you gagne la joie. 'Tis you gagne la joie. 'Tis you gagne la joie, malgré tout problème, yo. 'Tis you gagne la joie. happy thing is, the orphanage